So today we're here with my friend Glenn, who's definitely the master of Caridina shrimp breeding. And today Glenn's going to be talking us through how to breed Caridina shrimp and how to care for them. Because I think caring and breeding goes hand in hand when it comes to Caridina shrimp. So if your shrimp, if you're caring for them properly, you'll get babies. And I've never ever seen someone do it better than Glenn. So we've actually got a full tour you guys can watch. I've been here a couple of times now, and I just had to get this video out just to show people how to do it. So I'm a horrible shrimp breeder. I'm good at breeding Neocaridinas because my tap water is perfect for them, but I'm shocking at breeding Caridinas, and I thought you could tell us everything you know today. I'm really just gonna pick your brain because I'm very interested now in getting a few of these strains.
Yep.
And I've told customers I hate them because I can't do them, and now I love them. So
yeah, once you get into it, it's a pretty simple process. It's just trying to make sure it's not fish keeping. I can't stress this enough. It's not the same as fish keeping in so many ways. So yeah, do you want to get started? With Caridinas, they like really, really low pH. They don't do well after above 6.5. And there are a lot of people that say that they have bred a lot of shrimps above 6.5, but they're not guys that have bred, with 20 tanks using the same system. This system has worked for me for every single tank. I don't have a single issue. So it's a very, very basic system that works. So the main thing is, I personally use RO water. Some people use rainwater, and that's fine. You just have to make sure the water has no KH and no GH, and you have to remineralize that water to set everything up. So for Caridinas, you want a GH remineralizer. You don't want a KH one. So the KH has to be 0.
why don't you want KH?
Because it's going to buffer the pH up.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want it on 0 so that the water's constantly going down. The biggest thing that can go wrong is if the water fluctuates constantly and your KH does that. So obviously don't add coral, don't add any type of ceramic media that would lift the pH up. And a lot of people use different ornaments and decorations. Some of them do actually lift the pH up. So I just recommend moss, that's it.
So for instance, this tank here, if you
come and have a look. Here.
I mean, we've done a ton of B-roll on this, but this is the most insane Caridina tank I've ever seen. What are these? All crystal blacks. Mm-hmm. Excellent looking. But look at the walls. It's covered in babies. So in here, it looks like obviously you got your substrate. Mm-hmm. You got a big ball here of subwater tank.
Yeah.
And just a sponge filter at the back.
Yeah.
So that's all you need, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. I use a under gravel filtration system and a sponge filter. So for me, the sponge filter actually aerates the water and moves the water a lot more, and that actually increases the biofilm. So if you actually have a look in there, you can see that the water's really moving from the top.
Yes.
What it does is it goes like sort of a river flow system.
Sure.
The water goes through and touches every part of the tank, especially the side glass, and that's where most of the biofilm goes. And that's why all the babies are on the side of the glass. It's because there's all the bacteria that's actually growing over there.
So they're actually eating that.
Eating the whole time.
I heard something interesting when we were talking off camera. You said you're focusing on breeding biofilm. You're not focusing on breeding shrimp.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the way you have to see it. It's all about creating bacteria in the tank. So a lot of people don't realize that brown algae is actually a type of diatom algae. And what it does is it has a different skeletal structure that shrimp cannot digest and eat. So when the whole tank is filled with brown algae, it actually means the tank has no biofilm, beneficial biofilm or bacteria that they can eat. So the best thing to do is to actually get rid of the brown algae. Some people scrape the glass. I use Ottos. Ottos are shrimp safe. They do a wonderful job of it, and you'll find that the tank goes green very, very quickly.
Another thing you're talking about is keeping the temperatures quite low. So that 20 to 24 degrees Celsius max. 20
to 24 is optimal for Caridinas. People have push the barriers. You can breed them outside of those temperatures, there's not a problem. But as a general rule, keep it at 22, that's the best. I have seen people breed them in 20 degrees, 15 degrees, that's not a problem. And I've seen shrimp survive in 5 degrees. You'd be quite surprised at what they can tolerate, but it's the breeding that you want, 22 is the best.
What are you feeding and how often?
So I use a variety of vegetable-based foods. There's quite a few brands that I use. One particular brand I use is my friend Alan Huang's food. So they're mainly kelp type veggie based foods like that. But They generally need to eat a lot of low protein foods on a daily, but every once in a while, if you want them to induce breeding, you want to use like one source of protein. So like your bloodworms would do it, your fish food would do it, your bug buffet is actually one that I would try at least once a week, but no more than that, no more than once a week for protein foods. They have a digestive system that keeps going and going and going. They don't want to eat high protein foods because it will keep them really sluggish, and what happens is if there is any predation of planaria or other fish, they'll just get eaten up straight away. So they need to be constantly moving. A healthy shrimp is a constantly moving shrimp.
Okay, so someone gets their shrimp, they buy 10, well, let's say they're expensive. They buy 5.
Yeah.
They buy 5 Caridina shrimp, they take them home. How long before we can expect to see this many shrimp?
Ooh, it really depends on the size that they're bought. So if you buy them at about 10 mil, I would expect at least 3 months before they start breeding. It'll be another 31 days, 28 to 31 days before they release their eggs. And it normally takes about a week to 2 weeks before you'll see the babies. If you look at the moss, the babies are a lot smaller inside the moss in comparison to the juvies that are between 10 to 12 mil. Yeah, because they need a hiding place, and juvies don't actually move too much. The babies won't move at all. They have to eat from exactly where they're staying or where they're standing. So if you don't have biofilm, no matter how much food you pump in, you'll tend to find that the babies won't really reach it. I mean, the other thing is just be patient. It takes a while. It takes a while for the tank to mature. And when in doubt, don't feed. Don't feed that much.
That's I think, like, if we had to drive one thing home for you to take home at the end of this, is like don't feed. Like that's like,
let me give you an example. See that bug buffet there? One of that would feed 100 shrimps. So if you've got less than 20, 30 shrimps, you would only have to feed them once a week and that's it.
And this tank you're feeding like what, twice a week? No?
This one gets food on the daily because there's more than 100 shrimp there.
Okay.
So I generally only feed the shrimp tanks if there's more than 30 bait. If there's more than 30, have a look at it. They're going crazy.
He's ravenous, is he? But what were you saying? If there's less than 10 shrimp, you don't feed?
Yeah, you really don't need to feed them, especially if they're in a 30 to 60 litre tank.
Okay.
There's more than enough biofilm. If the glass is green, you're fine.
Oh, they're loving that bug buffet.
Whoa!
That's cool.
Bug buffet bomb. Yeah.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Would you say? Yeah. No, I hope you guys appreciate the video. I thought we'd just quickly get this out, and I know it'll help some people out because I would love to have had this video when I got my first shrimp.
Yeah.
So thanks, Glenn. I really
That's not a
appreciate it,
problem.
man. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.